in this short White Eagle talk, we found several errors. And here's the next one. He mentions about the Rosicrucians in the 14th century, the founders, and he mentions two people specifically involved in that. One of them was Francis Bacon, and the other was Saint Germain. Now, Francis Bacon was a real guy who did stuff. He he kick-started what we would think of as empirical science, where you have a theory, do some testing, then you observe the results, really kickstart science off. And he was involved in politics, high-level stuff. And many people believe he's the real author of Shakespeare's plays, because if you get the first edition of books, you can find his symbol, family crescent, something like this, on the frontispiece. You know, there are little clues hidden in the diagrams on the in the first edition texts that show Francis Bacon identity, and there's other stuff. So he was a busy guy and do some real stuff in the world, help the world evolve, improve, culturally enrich the world. Plus there's all the Masonic stuff, Masonic, Rosicrucianists, all the same, yeah. However, when you come to Saint Germain, they're different. Now, in 1969, when this was written, supposedly by White Eagle, there was no internet then. Do research was difficult. So, in 1969, Saint Germain was more of a reputation, a big reputation, few facts. Well, now we live in the age of the internet. People research him and they find out some of the historical truth. And there was the real Saint Germain, who would appear in a country for a couple of years. He was very charming, witty, intelligent, seemed to be very well travelled, lots of experience. Didn't actually do anything. He was a party animal. Then he would suddenly disappear, 10 years, re-emerge in another European country. Same process again, party-goer, socialite, but charming, funny, very quick thinking, quick-witted, endeared people to him. So he's a socialite, make people like him, and climb the social ladder, make contacts with VIPs. Everybody was enchanted by him. Then he'd disappear another 7 or 12 years, re-emerge in the next country, and this went on throughout his life. That was the real Saint Germain, and he was involved in not alchemy but chemistry. So he was always trying to make money from dyes for fabrics, and he would try and sell this, make a business. So that's chemistry, not alchemy. However, what happened is several people came along while he's still alive, trying to impersonate him. And this is where the mystical stories come from, such as he knew Jesus, things like this. It was these other people impersonating him during his 10-year absences. I'm not making claims here. You can Google it and you'll find all this is established fact now. What the real Saint Germain was doing during those 10-year absences, which was several times during his life, that isn't known. So the real Saint Germain has there's still more unknown than is known. However, the public Saint Germain, the public real Saint Germain, the witty guy, his level really is like Charlie Chaplin, or a more contemporary figure would be Russell Brand. Funny, quick thinking, very witty, charming. Everybody likes him. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they don't do anything. They don't achieve anything. They just make people like them. They're a kind of comedian, party host, a celebrity, but they achieve nothing. Unlike Francis Bacon, who was a kick-started science and important figure at the top of politics, and may well have written some of all Shakespeare's plays. So he was actually achieving things in the world, shaping the world, moving it forward, whereas the real Saint Germain was a mysterious partygoer, but his level is very similar to Russell Brand today, or Charlie Chaplin in the past, a comedian, an entertainer. No achievement to his credit. But the several other people who imitated him during his absences, they created this wider image of him as a mystical figure who could do miracles and claim to have secret knowledge. None of that was the real Saint Germain. That was these impersonators. Factually, historically, the real Saint Germain was, just a very nice guy, but not significant in world events. Now, that wasn't known in 1969. We only know that today. So it's very suspicious when when the White Eagle teaching, they nominate these two people, Francis Bacon, easy choice, and Saint Germain. That was an easy mistake back in 1969, which today we know is probably false. Unless, of course, during those 10-year gaps, and there's a few of them, he was secretly doing something. Well, he was intelligence spy. Today we'd think of the CIA or MI6. Well, that was his job then. That's why he was travelling from country to country and always hobnobbing with kings and politicians and bankers. He's basically intelligence agent, and that also explains his association with things like masonry, because it's networking. Yeah, just a kind of networking. The fact that the White Eagle teaching promotes Saint Germain is an example of illustrious personality who came from heaven to guide the mass of human souls on earth, was an easy claim back in 1969, but in the modern era it exposes the claimant as uninformed, as erroneous. So if White Eagle is a real member of the Great White Brotherhood and he's claiming Saint Germain was a member of the Great White Brotherhood, then he should know better and not make that mistake.